Kenya is looking to leverage its global sporting reputation to promote sustainable solutions through sports as a catalyst for behavioral change. Well, this is among the key agenda Nairobi is pushing at the 7th session of the United Nations Environment Assembly. Now, the global forum's host nation, which is Kenya, is pursuing this and other key matters at the world's highest level decision-making body on the environment, which is basically the environmental equivalent of the UN Security Council, where nations come together to forge consensus on everything from plastic pollution to biodiversity loss. NMG's climate editor Zainab Wandati, who was at the opening of the forum in Nairobi, expounds.
This is the first time a United Nations Environment Assembly is sitting right after a COP. Remember, COP30 just recently concluded in Belém, Brazil. And while it's still unclear whether the outcomes of COP30 will have any bearing on the discussions here in Nairobi, what is clear is that there are so far 19 draft resolutions on the table, which delegates will be haggling over the next 5 days.
That there is a mixture of policy, economy, and environment in the negotiations. But by the end of the day, everybody already started feeling the full impact of environment degradation, climate change impact, and so on. I think we will achieve a good progress, and many decisions, resolutions will lie on the scientific cards provided by the scientists.
If member states decide to take politics into the negotiation rooms, we would say that it's very important that we don't lose sense of what the science is telling us, and we would encourage all member states to actually adhere to that very science that they have asked us at UNEA to deal in.
This 19 draft resolutions span across the entire environmental spectrum, including the environmental impact of artificial intelligence. Now, although Kenya is playing host to this meeting, it is not the one leading the discussions here. These discussions are under the chairmanship of the Sultanate of Oman. But Kenya is still playing a leading role by sponsoring 3 of the 19 draft resolutions. And these resolutions, again, include the environmental impact of artificial intelligence, how Kenya can harness its sporting prowess, and garbage disposal, all issues that Kenya hopes will be adopted at the end of the summit.
From Kenya's growth heartlands to cities around the world, we must turn hopeful ideas into real change. Second, to strengthen resilience, not just bounce back, but to transform, to move from vulnerabilities to empowerment, from reacting to damage to preventing and regenerating.
All United Nations member states are represented here except the United States, because this meeting often discusses matters with climate change, but US President Donald Trump is already on record as saying things about calling climate change a hoax, and so the US delegation is not here yet. There are more than 100 environment ministers at this meeting, and as well as representatives where a minister could not come, a representative has been sent, but they still hope that the U.S. will eventually show up. Now, President William Ruto is expected here on Thursday for the high-level meeting, whereby now all the issues discussed within the week will be brought to a conclusion for final adoption on Friday. Zainab Wandati, NTV, Nairobi.